You ever taken a shot in the dark? I'm not touching that one. So I just listened to Ozzy from The Ultimate Sin, Shot in the Dark. Come on, baby. Jakey Lee. Gotta love it. Ozzy Osbourne and the rest. They're here on Ozzy's Island. So, hey, welcome to the big show. This is Rock This Town Records. It's your good friend. It's your pal. It's your compadre. It's TC, everybody. How you doing? What's going on the big show today? Well, we're going to relive the past, going back to 1987. Great year. Very good year. Very good year. Talk a little Guns N' Roses opening for the Cult. Really? Wow. Had to start somewhere. We'll talk some Megadeth. Unfortunately, it's not the news we wanted, but I guess it's sort of the news we wanted on Megadeth. We'll talk a little Joe Perry project, which is actually, oh my God. Anyways, wait till you hear this. It's awesome, especially if you're an Aerosmith fan. Anyways, we'll talk some Van Halen. We'll do a Metallica, not a Metallica, a Megadeth top 5, baby. A top 5 Megadeth albums. I've come up with my list. If you want to come up with your list, you can put it in the chat. You can put it in as a comment. I think that'd be fun because I always like to see what people think because it's fun, right? Cool. And then my vinyl of the day is actually this bad boy. Let's see how this appears. I guess if our friend Richard Miller's hanging out with us already, he'll know the back of that record. Because I think we actually secured a copy of that for him. So anyways, that is an OG copy that we'll be featuring here coming up in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So we're here every Monday through Friday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, and that is 5 Pacific. You can catch the show on YouTube if you missed it. Just rewind it. Boom. Watch anytime you want. Same with Facebook at the moment. And then also there's a podcast. Boom. Whether you're working out, whether you're driving in the car, whether you're trying to fall asleep, there you go. You can turn on the podcast and listen to the big show, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever legendary podcasts are found. So there you go. All right, let's get the party started by reliving the past first. This happened 38 years ago. 38 years ago tonight in Halifax. I guess that would be in Nova Scotia if I know my geometry, I mean my grammar, I mean my geography. You know, I went to public school. What do you want? What do you want? I went to public school. But the Cult went on tour. Boom. Of course, the Cult, great band from the 80s, still doing their thing these days. I love the Cult. I think Jen might have saw the Cult recently in the last couple of years, or maybe she wanted to go and she just didn't make it. So anyway, something like that. Tickets were $18 and a quarter. And who opened the show? A little band that had just released a new album, their first record. It was hitting the charts, but it would not peak for about another year. A little band called Guns N' Roses. Let me tell you the set list that night. Well, I don't have the actual set list for that night, but the shows around there have similar set lists. So you can figure that, okay, they probably played these 10 songs. So the Cult, to their credit, gave Guns N' Roses, what was this be, at least 40 minutes probably, to play 10 songs. And the 10 songs they did in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Out to Get Me. Nice. Okay, that they opened the show with that. Anything Goes. Very nice. It's So Easy. Mr. Brownstone. All right. Love that. Night Train. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Jungle, baby. We got fun and games. My Michelle. Very nice. Knocking on Heaven's Door. You're Crazy. And then they closed with Paradise City. So of note, they did not do Rocket Queen. And they did not do Sweet Child of Mine. So that's kind of funny in my humble opinion. So there you go. That was that's reliving the past tonight, and that is the Cult and Guns N' Roses 38 years ago tonight in Halifax. So there you go. I'm going to check the chat. Hey, Beat After Beat's back. Good to see you, buddy boy. Good to see you. All right. Very nice. Tito's hanging out with us as well. Tito. Love Tito. He's the man. And Jen's hanging out with us as well. Very cool. Thanks, Jen, for hanging out. So there you go. All right, let's talk Megadeth, baby. The announcement that I wanted was the 35th anniversary box set and vinyl pressing of Rust in Peace. What we got was still good, I think, but you'll be the judge of that. So this is the new Megadeth record that will be coming out, and I think this is their 17th record? I think it is, or 17th or 18th record, Dave said in the announcement. But they're set to release their quote-unquote final record Come on. Come on. You're Dave Mustaine. Keep going. You can keep going. This is like Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino is under this illusion, Michael. He's under this insane illusion that he's only going to do 10 films. What? So let's see. How old is Quentin Tarantino versus, well, I got to go off on a little side tangent here. Quentin Tarantino is, there he is. He is 62 years old. 62, there you are. Martin Scorsese is now 82. He's 20 years older than our friend Quentin Tarantino. That would mean that 20 years ago, so 2005, when it comes to movies, we'll call it 2004, just for giggles and giggles. The Aviator. So that's a pretty damn good movie that Marty Scorsese made when he was 62, Quentin. The Departed. What, are you kidding me? Shutter Island. Okay. Hugo. The Wolf of Wall Street. I love that movie. The Irishman. That was really good too. And Killers of the Flower Moon. I tried to watch that, and all due respect, I kind of fell asleep. So anyways, back to Megadeth, because Megadeth is the story of the day. So they're going to do another album, their final album, Dave says, and then embark on the dreaded, oh no, farewell tour. Remember when the Who did their farewell tour in 1982? Yeah, anyways, but I realize Dave Mustaine's probably getting up there. How old is Dave Mustaine? Let's find out how Dave Mustaine is as far as age goes. Dave Mustaine is a robust 63 years old. I mean, there's guys out there doing it at 80. Now, granted, he's singing, he's playing some really, really fast guitar parts. I get it. That's got to be tough, man. But if you need to add a second guitarist, Dave, well, I know you have a second guitarist, but if you need to add a third guitarist, is that such a bad thing in my humble opinion? No, it's not. So, but anyways, I think the countdown is on now in 48 days or something like that. They're going to announce pre-orders on the brand new record from Megadeth. It is untitled at the moment, though apparently that is the cover of the record. So Vic Rattlehead, baby, making it sexy there. And then the tour will probably be announced around the same time there. So I'm guessing this tour is going to last 3 years at minimum. You got to figure 2 to 3 years probably. So I'm sure they're going to hit every market they can. Hopefully they'll be on some big tours. I would still love to see, I don't know if Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer and Megadeth would do it, but I would love to see a big 4 tour, kind of like a last gasp, maybe in, I don't know, 2029. How about that? Or 2028, a big 4 stadium tour throughout the US, throughout South America, because, hey, South America, man, they know the good stuff when it comes to rock, man. I can appreciate that. And then Europe and hit anywhere else you want to go. But I think that would be so cool if there was a big 4 tour in the U.S. I know that thing would sell out like crazy. And I know Metallica can sell out a stadium themselves. And I know why are you going to break up the, that's the problem, that Metallica has gotten so big, is that they don't need anybody else to sell out the venue. Though, of course, Pantera was opening and Limp Bizkit was opening. But I don't know. I think that would be so cool. Anyways, also set for release next year is a new memoir from Mr. Dave Mustaine, details of which will be revealed soon, as they say. So, yeah, so 2026 promises to be a big year for Megadeth. I am looking forward to it. I've been a big fan of Megadeth for a long time. As I said, maybe earlier this week on the show, maybe last week, 80s Metallica, okay, they win. But 90s, Megadeth wins. The 90s was just album after album of great stuff from Dave Mustaine and Megadeth. So that's the big story there. Boom. Not too shabby. All right. Let me see. Love the Megadeth cover, beat after beat, says. Oh, I concur. I think that is such a very cool cover. Got the little fire burning, wearing the white gloves. Very nice touch. Tito loves himself some Megadeth. Boom. Dave definitely does look worn out. Paula joining us. Hey, Paula, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Very cool. All right. So, Joe Perry Project. This is actually really, really cool to me, in my humble opinion. So here we go. This is a shot from last night's show. I think it was in, where was it? It was at the Hard Rock Event Center in Tampa. As Jack Blades once said on, Jen's going to be like, don't tell this joke. As Jack Blades once said on Rockline with Bob Coburn back like in 1985, there was a caller from like Florida. And Jack Blade says, I didn't say I was going to take her to Florida. I said I was going to Tampa with her. Hey, Jack Blade said it, so blame him if you don't like it. But anyways, the Joe Perry Project launched their U.S. tour in Tampa. Now you're thinking Joe Perry Project, forget about it. But however, Chris Robinson is in tow. Bradley Whitford is in tow. Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes. The bass player, the cool guy, Dean from Stone Temple Pilots is in tow. Very nice. Buck Johnson, the keyboard player. And the drummer, last minute replacement, was actually supposed to be the guy from Stone Temple Pilots, but he couldn't do it because of a family issue that came up. So it's the Joe Perry Project drummer. So, but listen to this set list. I want to go see this show. Jen, so Joe Perry Project just announced a solo show here in Chandler coming up. I don't got it up on the screen there, but anyways, this sounds awesome, man. So here's the set list. They open with Let the Music Do the Talking, which was actually a Joe Perry original song from the Joe Perry Project, but then Aerosmith realized, damn, that's a good song. When Joe Perry came back, they recorded it. Love that song. My Fist, Your Face, an Aerosmith cover. Same Old Song and Dance. Very nice. East Coast, West Coast. That would be a Joe Perry Project song. Get the Let Out by Aerosmith. Twice as Hard by the Black Crowes. Ooh, they're mixing in Black Crowes. I'm loving this. Fortunate One. That's a Joe Perry song. Interstate Love Song. Chris Robinson of the Black Crowes and Joe Perry. Ooh, and Brad Whitford. Ooh, very nice. That's Stone Temple Pilots combination. That's a deep track from Aerosmith. Mama Kin from Aerosmith. Vaseline by the Stone Temple Pilots. Nice. Won't Let Me Go. Jealous Again by the Black Crowes. Bright Light Fright. Deep track again from Aerosmith. Last Child. Nice. Chip Away the Stone. Ooh, this is some deep stuff, man. I'm loving it. Draw the Line. Train Kept a Rollin' was the encore, and then Walk This Way. Damn. That is very sexy. So, yeah. And so Joe Perry had said the set list was going to be Joe Perry Project stuff. It was going to be Stone Temple Pilots. It was going to be Black Crowes and some deep cuts from Aerosmith. And boom, they delivered, man. That is very, very sexy. Jen says I've convinced her. So we gotta get tickets to that bad boy because I love the Black Crowes and Chris Robinson and Rich Robinson. I love Stone Temple Pilots. I would say, without a doubt, the best band to come out of Seattle in the early 90s was Stone Temple Pilots. Wait, they're from Georgia. I know. That's what I'm talking about. They were the best band. And then it was probably Alice in Chains, then Soundgarden, and then Nirvana or Pearl Jam. Flip a coin. They're still both really good, but the bar is really high there. I realize that. So there you go. I think that's a hell of a set list. So if you get a chance to see Joe Perry and company, I should find the tour dates here. Joe Perry Project. Let me just find his website here, and I'll tell you the tour dates, where he's going. A couple of these dates, he's actually opening for The Who. Apparently that 1982 farewell tour didn't stick for The Who. So go figure I don't know what happened there, but all right, let me see here. There is the updated tour thing. Joe Perry Project. So tonight, they're in Hollywood, Florida, and then they go to Toronto, and then they're in Ontario, some place called Muskoka? I don't know. Boston, Massachusetts, that is. Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, Mashwantucket, whatever, Connecticut, Port Chester, New York, Boston again. Oh, nice. With The Who, second time. The first time without The Who. Los Angeles, and then Chandler, Arizona, Wild Horse Pass Casino here. That's like a 3-wood from our house here. So, boom, sign me up there. So, very nice. Very nice. All right. So, I don't know if you've heard that Van Halen Balance is being reissued as a special edition. Rhino says that this completes now the Van Halen reissues, which is head scratching because, well, they haven't done OU 812 or 5150. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe Sammy and Alex aren't getting along. I don't know what's going on. But Van Halen's upcoming release of Balance on orange vinyl is now sold out. You might be able to find a copy in your record store, but I've got an insider who tells me that they pressed X amount of records and they've all been pre-sold by the distributors to record stores because this was an indie exclusive on orange vinyl. So I kind of wanted this version. So Jen and I might be SOL on this bad boy because I love the orange version. It's going to be on black vinyl. You can get it on black vinyl, of course. But still, that comes out actually tomorrow. So if you were looking for a copy, you should probably call your record store and see if they've got the indie exclusive orange version because that thing is sold out. And Rhino, which we've learned over the years, does not repress stuff. You know, they're not one of these companies that's just like, well, we're doing this amount of indie exclusive vinyls, and then all of a sudden there's a demand, and oh, no, wait, there's going to be more, like Universal Music does. No, they're just one and done all the time. So that bad boy is probably going to get expensive on the secondary markets if you're looking for one there. So there you go. All right, cool. Let me go on over to my Megadeth list. This is my Megadeth list. It's a hard list to make, but these are the 5 records I came up with. I wanted to put Risk on here because I like Risk. I know a lot of people don't like Risk. I know a lot of people love Dysphoria too as well. But I like Risk. So what? So far, so good. So what isn't on here? Killing is my business, and business is good. That's not on here either. But these are my 5 best. Cryptic Writings. I'm starting with. Got to go with Cryptic Writings because Cryptic Writings. I got to find my notes here. I was looking for the Joe Perry tour dates, and I closed my notes here. So hang on a second. Let me get my notes back up. There they are, right over there. All right. So, yes, Cryptic Writings was the first one. So the big singles off there were Trust, Almost Honest, Use the Man. Those were kind of the big songs off that. I love that record. I thought it was great. And that is a record that is almost impossible to find on vinyl. Risk, by the way, never pressed on vinyl. That had Insomnia on it and Breadline and Crush 'Em. I dug it, but maybe you didn't. I know that Beat After Beat is definitely into the what did Beat After Beat? Peace Sells and Countdown to Extinction, his favorites. Well, there you go. We're kind of in agreement there because that's my 1-2 coming up. Euthanasia, boom. That had what did that have on it? Let me check the track list here. Train of Consequence and Tente Le Monde. Those were the big hits off of that one. Such a great record. That is available on picture disc. What? Why? Hopefully it'll be pressed on a regular vinyl with a gatefold and all that good stuff eventually. So I don't know what in the hell they're doing with the Megadeth catalog. Maybe Dave is going to retire so he can spend time on getting this Megadeth catalog correct and straightened out because there's so many records there that need to be repressed or, like in the case of Risk, pressed for the first time. Rust in Peace from 1990. Of course, that had was that Train of Consequence on that bad boy? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Holy Wars and Hangar 18. Holy Wars. Come on, man. So good. So awesome. Boom. And then Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Of course, from 86. A fantastic record. And then number 1 for me by far is Countdown to Extinction. That copy of the Mobile Fidelity did a pressing of that, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And we had number 100 come into the store. They were like limited to like 1,000 or 1,500. And we had number 100. It was still sealed, coming as part of a collection. And we ended up selling that, I think, to our friend John from Kansas City, I think, picked that up. So, but damn. Anyway, so Countdown to Extinction, obviously the big songs on that one were, let me check my notes here, obviously Symphony of Destruction. I love Myself Sweating Bullets, so awesome. Foreclosure of a Dream, Skin of My Teeth. So good. So awesome. There you go. Tito got his copy probably of Euthanasia, right? That's what you're referring to. Or Rust in Peace, one of them. So there you go. Cool. So that's my favorite Megadeth albums. If you want to debate me in the comments or in the chat, you can certainly do that. I can appreciate that. Tito mentions Hidden Treasures. Yeah, I looked at Hidden Treasures, and you know what I really kind of wanted was the Warheads on Foreheads box set. We had that a couple times in the store. That is so cool. It's like a 4 LP greatest hits box set. That was mighty, mighty, mighty cool. Oh yeah, so the Hidden Treasures one that Tito mentioned has a bunch of, well, some of it's covers and stuff. So it's got No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's got Angry Again on it, 99 Ways to Die. It's got a cover of Black Sabbath's Paranoid, among others. So there you go. Oh, speaking of Black Sabbath, how about Sharon Osbourne, huh? Before the Ozzy tribute, there was one band that wanted to be paid, and I will reveal that band. Now, granted, of course, Ozzy's died, and she's had her mind occupied with other things. I think she was just probably trolling us at that point. But obviously, of the big four, Megadeth was not there. That was the only big four artist that wasn't there. But obviously, Dave, maybe like, I don't want to travel anymore. I'm going to do one last tour, one last album, then I'm done. So there you go. Very nice. War Chest. Exactly. All right, cool. New vinyl announced today. No Life Till Leather. Yes, No Life Till Leather. This is actually a tribute to Metallica's Kill 'Em All. Comes out November 14th, priced at $40. That is the cover of the record there that you see. And let me give you the track list here. So there's a couple of, so I think they've released a single initially to kind of show everybody what it is. And I think it's The Almighty doing the Four Horsemen, which I kind of love that song. That's great. So who's on this record? Tigers of Pantang's on here. You've got Motorhead. Motorhead, really? Doing Whiplash? Very cool. I don't know how that happened. Obviously, it must not have been a recent recording, right? Saxon doing Phantom Lord. Diamond Head doing No Remorse. Testament doing Seek and Destroy. And then Raven's on here as well doing Metal Militia. Dave Ellefson does Pulling Teeth. Anesthesia. Was that off of Kill 'Em All? I thought that was off of Ride the Lightning, or I don't know. Maybe some of this is crossing over a little bit, I guess. And then there's covers of Motor Breath and Hit the Lights as well by a couple bands called Soen and Tail Gunner, respectively there. So I don't know if you're a Metallica fan, it's a pretty good lineup. So not too shabby. A bunch of bands doing covers, and Beat After Beat loves Raven. There you go. Very nice. Raven, a cool band. I always get Raven and Saxon confused for some reason. Maybe because they're like 5 letters and ending in N. So I don't know. It is what it is. Speaking of it is what it is, the Pogues. Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash. This is a 2 LP Red Marble announced, coming out November 28th for about $35. I could not name a Pogues song to save my life. This is the 40th anniversary edition. I don't know if you're into the Pogues. If you are, cool. Maybe you can give me a gateway song or a gateway album. But if you can't, we'll just move on, right? Cool. All right, cool. Dougie Fresh. I figured I'd mention this because this is like a 40th anniversary as well from 85. It's Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick with La Dee Da Dee and the show 40th anniversary. It's a 12-inch ruby red vinyl coming out November 21st, priced at $30 and limited to 1,000. So there you go. A little old school hip hop if you're into the old school hip hop. So there you go. Very nice. And then, can't believe I'm mentioning this. A Yoko Ono sighting on the show. My friend Jeff would be so proud of us. Yoko Ono, John and Yoko, I should say, not Yoko Ono. Oh, if it was just Yoko, forget about it. John and Yoko, Power to the People live at the 1-to-1 concert is getting a release on 2 LP coming out October 10th. And it's priced at $65. Holy nuggets. That's quite a bit. So I don't know. I know that our friend Sandy is a big Beatles fan. I've never particularly asked her, maybe I have asked her what she thought of Yoko Ono. There's the There's the one joke I heard that was just like the stupidest joke ever. It was like, what do you call a dog with wings? Yoko Ono. It doesn't make any sense. I get it, but whatever. So there you go. This was the last couple of records here were kind of death, but what are you going to do? So let's move on. Hi, there I am. There you go. Beat After Beat remembers the Pogues. Very nice. Reminder, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube of Love, because the YouTube of Love is your friend. Just find us, Rock This Town Records, and there you go, Rock This Town Live. Also, very nice. Some concert announcements. This is kind of a good one. Jen, I think, would dig this one. The Ultimate Smooth Experience. Yeah, baby. Sunset Fest in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, with Kenny Loggins. Cool. Rick Springdon, as I like to call him, Rick Springfield. Nice. Alan Parsons, really? Alan Parsons. Okay. I love Alan Parsons' project. I think it's great. Alan Parsons is great. Christopher Cross. Also, Dire Straits Legacy. That must be the guys that were in Dire Straits that are not Mark Knopfler and his brother, because I think his brother left the band before, like Brothers in Arms, and then of course Mark Knopfler just does his own thing now. He's like Alan Parsons or Jeff Lynne. Always be the singer, always be the songwriter. Otherwise, you got no shot. So Ambrosia's going to be there as well. Pablo Cruz, Al Stewart. So there you go. If you're digging on a little, yeah, man, a little yacht rock, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Experience is touring the country right now. They were actually in our part of the neck, our part of the woods. Our neck of the woods. I think that's what I was trying to say. They were in Flagstaff the other day. They were in Tucson last night, and now they're headed to Lincoln. Lincoln, California has come up again. That I actually looked that up. It's just outside of Sacramento, California. So that's where Lincoln is. Just like Lincoln, Omaha. Wait, Lincoln, Nebraska is just outside, sort of, about 40, 50 miles from Omaha. So there you go. Napa, Vancouver, Seattle, Bakersfield, a lot of stuff on the West Coast, it looks like. So there you go. If you're into Jason Bonham, you're into Led Zeppelin, then boom. Very, 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 very nice. Warrant announced a new show along with Lita and Firehouse. That is actually coming up September 22nd in Lafayette, Indiana. Lafayette, we are here, they shall proclaim. Let the good times rock. They are celebrating 35 years of Cherry Pie. Very nice. Lita Ford, obviously, back in the zeitgeist a little bit because of the Close My Eyes Forever with the passing of Ozzy, unfortunately. And then Firehouse, they lost CJ Snare, the lead singer, over a year ago, but they're continuing. Every band continues, right? Remember, we're going to buy Foreigner. We're all going to get together. We're going to buy Foreigner, the band, and then we'll own it. And then, we'll all get revenue share every month, or every quarter. You get $12.30, your share of the cut. So we got that going for us. Last thing here, as far as live stuff, I wanted to mention, it's not a live show, but it's happening tomorrow. Deep Purple is doing a listening party on YouTube. It's kind of interesting for the Made in Japan record, which got the Steven Wilson remix. There's also a bunch of different shows from that Japan tour in the box set. The box set's actually really cool. I was actually going to feature it the other day, but then it got bumped at the last minute for the Ugly Kid Joe Menace to Sobriety announcement. So wanted to mention it now. That comes up at noon Pacific tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you're about and you want to turn on the YouTube, I'm guessing it's on Deep Purple's channel. I would venture to guess. So I love Deep Purple. I think they're a very underrated band. And this is obviously the classic lineup: Blackmore, Glover, Pace, Gillan, and Lord. So there you go. All right, cool. Yes, Tito, that flyer was super 80s. It was beyond 80s. It was very, very 80s. Sandy says, hey, Sandy, all right. Sandy says she's still pissed at Yoko. So now I can ask her about that. Actually, Sandy and Audrey and Casey are stopping by tonight. We're gonna have some Cane's Raisin Cane's chicken. And then we're going to play some games like Disney After Dark. No, that was a band. Disney Before Humans or something like that. Casey's kind of a game collector. So very nice. Tito says he saw Warrant really good about a month ago. Well, that's cool. Obviously, they've carried on without Janie Lane. And I know there's a couple of guys original to the band. So that's very, very cool. But what else did I miss in the chat? Queen Lita. Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Sounds like a trip for me and my sister down to see Rick Springdon and Kenny Loggins. Is that what you're referring to, Jen? Very nice. So there you go. Cool. Joe Lynn Turner. I'm not sure what that reference is, but yeah. Was he wasn't in Deep Purple. He was in Rainbow. Been in a lot of stuff, but I don't know other than that. So there you go. Well, this is our friend Jerry. Hi, Jerry. How you doing, buddy boy? He's a very nice little doggy. Of course, our parrot is Jerry, and our giraffe is Jerry as well. Very limited in the thinking here when I come to name animals. They're all named Jerry, unfortunately. So I would ask you to smash the like button if you're digging the show. That always helps. And then if you really want to help the show, tell a friend about it, Maybe call up Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono is still with us, I would assume, yes? Yoko Ono. I haven't heard of Yoko passing. Have I? I don't think so. Yeah, Yoko Ono is still with us. So there you go. Merry Christmas to us all. Yoko is 92 years old now. Wow. So she was actually older than John Lennon, huh? Yoko was born in 1933. When was John Lennon born? He was probably born in late 30s? No, 1940. So John would have been, I guess, 85 this year coming up. But Yoko was like the young guys. All right, Yoko. Liking the young guys, huh? She's a cougar. Anyway, so Yoko is still with us apparently. So, yep, still alive. Very nice. Alive and kicking, as they say. And this is my vinyl of the day. It is a Taiketo. This is an OG copy, and it is in pretty nice shape, I gotta say. Very nice shape. Don't Come Easy. I think this big song off of this was it Forever Young? I think it was Forever Young. I can't really name. I know of Taiketo. This came out in 91, so this is right before kind of the Nirvana, well, shall we say Stone Temple Pilots hit the scene. But Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, all those bands hit the scene. This looks like a European press, if I know my stuff well. But yeah, a good record. Jen says, can I pull a record for tonight's show? And I said, sure, of course, Jenny. Do it. And she came back with this Taiketo record. She digs herself some, I would almost call it 90s hair metal. Everybody calls it 80s hair metal. It's 90s hair metal. So many of these, yeah, okay. There's bands like Poison that were out in 86, and Cinderella had kind of the big hair. They were out in 86. But there were so many bands breaking by the time you got to 1990, 1991 from kind of that hair metal scene. So I think we forget about that a lot of those records came out in the 90s. Rather than in the 80s. So, of course, the big guys that set the roadmap, the Leopards and the Bon Jovis and bands like that, even Van Halen, I guess, to a certain degree. A lot of those bands, and then there was the second tier of bands like Poison. Well, Motley Crue would have been one of those first tier bands as well. And you got Poison, The Next Generation, Cinderella, Skid Row, bands like that. And then you had like a third generation and a fourth generation. I guess Taiketo would have probably been third or fourth generation on that bad boy. There you go. Taiketo is working on a new album right now. All right. Very, very nice. That is super cool. Tito got that vinyl from us as well. Very nice, Tito. Love it. And then he also loves Forever Young. So there you go. Of course, we are here every Monday through Friday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yep. That means it's the end of the show. 7 p.m. Central, 5 Pacific. You can find us on Spotify if you missed the show. You can subscribe there, or you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or whatever you use for your podcasts. And then what else? Oh, you can always watch the show back on YouTube anytime you want. And then finally, what else? Oh, of course, you can watch it on Facebook as well. So there you go. Have a great night, everybody. I appreciate it. I got to go pick up some chicken for Sandy and Casey and Jen and Audrey. And there you go. You guys have a great night. And what would I have been saying? Oh, yeah. Have a good weekend. That's it.